What might we be able to learn about Pikmin 4 by taking a deep look into what Olimar was doing during Pikmin 3? Hello everybody, you're watching Variety Television, and welcome to a video I call Olimar's Untold Journey. Not because the information here has never been told, or else I wouldn't have it. Instead, I'll be showing you a new perspective on some information that we've had, as well as shedding some light on a long-running Pikmin 3 mystery. So get ready as I present to you a story of corporate greed, managerial incompetence, and how it could all lead to Olimar leaving his job at Hakate Freight. First, let me take you back to a time that we all may be a bit more familiar with, and that is the time of Pikmin 2. At the start of that game, we see Olimar returning from his journey in Pikmin 1. The moment Olimar lands, his boss, the president of the company, is going off about some debt. He says that Louis lost a shipment of golden carrots, causing him to have to take out a loan to pay it off. The president then says that after selling most of the company assets, as well as Olimar's ship, there is a remaining debt of 10,100 Pokos. Olimar drops a bottle cap he found while on PNF 404 during Pikmin 1, and it is revealed to be worth 100 Pokos, which seems to be a lot based on their reactions during the cutscene. It's easy to blame Louis for the debt in this situation, however, while he may have ate his entire shipment, it was still carrots. Seeing as how they were intended to be eaten, I doubt they were metal or real gold at all, probably just yellowish in color. 10,100 Pokos is a lot for a single shipment of carrots, yellow or not. Not to mention the fact that this is the total of the debt after the company assets and the dolphin were sold. It's safe to say the original price of the debt was much higher than the 10,100 Pokos that we're tasked with retrieving. So something is definitely up. To me, it seems like the president somehow blew a lot of the company's money and used Louis' carrot slip-up to shift the blame. There's just no way a shipment of carrots costs the equivalent of an entire shipping company's worth of assets, a spaceship, and an additional 10,100 Pokos. This is the first clear example of the president being unable to properly run his company, as we see with this debt. It's also the first example of the president's negligence towards his employees, blaming this whole ordeal on Louis, even if he did cost the company a truckload of money. Now let's jump forward to Pikmin 3, where we see even more examples of this behavior. I'm going over this section a little bit more since it kind of happens in the background of Pikmin 3, and it's also only available if you have the DLC or the Switch port of the game. The first is Olimar's assignment, and the second is Olimar's comeback. Quote, "Once again, Captain Olimar and his subordinate Louis set foot planetside to save Hakate Freight from bankruptcy." And I don't want to spend too much time going over all the details here, but I would like to give you some quotes from the president before I tell you my estimated total of the debt in Pikmin 3, and then show you where I think this is all gonna go. Quote 1. "Just because a treasure is buried or hard to spot, doesn't mean I won't expect you to grab those too." Quote 2. "You'd better collect all the treasures near the water. I don't care what you have to fight to get them, just do it." Quote 3. "There's treasure to be had on land and water, and I want it all. Oh, and don't bother waiting around for lily pads, the water's not flowing, find another way." Quote 4. "This place is too big to find all the treasures alone, so split up, that's an order. And watch your steps so Pikmin don't fall into any gaps, those assets are too valuable to lose." Clearly, the president's only concern here is money, stating again and again that he doesn't care what Olimar and Louis must endure to collect every treasure. He expects it to be done. I'd also like to point out that he refers to the Pikmin as assets, so he even sees the Pikmin as his property here. Olimar and Louis are risking their lives and breaking their necks here for a second time to dig their boss out of his second debt. But surely if Olimar and Louis were here, there must have been something really important that the president had to attend to. Some other company-saving matters that only he could handle, otherwise he'd be helping them out, right? What was he doing during this time, you ask? Well, let's take a look at a log left behind by Olimar that's found by Alf and the crew. Quote, "We're picking up a strong signal, but we can't seem to actually reach it. If we had a third party, we might be able to, but I just got an out-of-office message from the boss. he probably doesn't get much reception at the beach. We're kind of on a beach too, but it's not quite the same. Yeah, the president is on vacation at the beach, and it still gets worse. I haven't even told you what the debt was this time. Last time, Olimar and Louie were tasked with 10,100 Pokos, but Pikmin 3 doesn't actually directly tell us what the total of the debt is. However, they do give us the information that we need to figure it out for ourselves. In these missions, you're rewarded by two different things. You get money for collecting everything, and you also get money for how much time remains once you've collected everything. And assuming those time bonuses actually count towards the debt, since let's be honest, Olimar is not getting any of that, I think you're actually going to be surprised here. If Olimar collects everything, he's awarded a Platinum Medal, and I think it's safe to assume that we can work with Platinum Medal scores to get our answers here. Olimar actively works for 4 days before his progress is stopped by the Plasm Wraith. On day 1, the duo collects 800 Pokos worth of treasure with a possible 2,550 Pokos in time bonus. Day 2 brings in 880 Pokos for treasure and a possible 2,880 Pokos for time. Day 3 has 870 Pokos for treasure with a possible 5,400 for time, and finally Day 4 has 1,340 Pokos worth of treasure and a possible 6,630 Pokos worth for time. Now obviously these numbers can vary, but I did a couple playthroughs of each of these missions, each with a Platinum Medal, and took the average time for all of the time bonuses that I was awarded. So at the end of the final day, Olimar sees a pile of gold that he estimates would be enough to finish up the mission, but it turns out to be the Plasm Wraith. Based on the size of the Plasm Wraith, my estimate is that Olimar probably thought it was about 100 gold nuggets, which would total 350 Pokos. And I know this is all a lot of numbers, and I'm going to give you a couple more. It's a total of 3,890 Pokos worth of treasure, an extra 17,460 Pokos for being efficient, and about 350 Pokos for the Plasm Wraith. This gives an estimated grand total of approximately 22,000 Pokos worth of debt, which is over twice the amount of the Pikmin 2 debt that we're tasked with recovering. Now after all of this, Olimar gets taken by the Plasm Wraith, and we all know this from the main story of Pikmin 3. But even if he wasn't, the ship he arrived on was totally destroyed. Olimar and Louie would have died without the help of Alf, Brittany, and Charlie. No help from the president whatsoever here, though. After all of that, you'd think the president would have learned his lesson, or at the very least found a less deadly way for Olimar to make him money, but alas, it was not so. The president couldn't bear to leave company property behind, so he tasks Olimar and Louie with returning once again, this time to repair the Hakatate ship and fly it off of that planet. I'm sure you already know that this is no easy task, but before I tell you how I think this relates to Pikmin 4, let me read you a few quotes from our dear Olimar. Quote 1. Hakatate Freight is drowning in debt. I'm not saying it's our company president's fault, because this is an official log. Quote 2. The radars detected something juicy, so we'll investigate that tomorrow. I hope it's something valuable enough that we can finish the mission early. Quote 3. We found a small key, but we haven't seen anything it might unlock. I was hoping to pick up a small souvenir for my son, and this may be just the thing. Quote 4. We have to work harder on finding some truly valuable treasures. The sooner we hit our quota, the sooner I can get back to my wife and kids on Hakatate. Quote 5. Unfortunately, even my advanced suit can't quite keep out the cold. I'm not surprised Hakatate Freight cut costs when it came to installation. Brr. It wouldn't surprise me if everyone got the same standard issue suit, no matter what kind of assignment they were on. The company's new venture went down in flames, and it's dragged our yearly earnings down with it. We don't have the money for decent spacesuits now, this one isn't even custom fitted. Without any insulation, I wouldn't want to put this suit up against any nasty shocks either. And truthfully, I could go on and on with these quotes, but I think you can see what I'm getting at here. In Pikmin 4, Olimar quits Hakatate Freight. In fact, I think that's his end goal. We see a picture clearly painted by his memos and quotes that shows a man fed up with his company's cheapness, fully aware of his boss's incompetence, and a man who misses his family dearly. A man who just wants to finish the job and get home. He sees by this point that there are plenty of valuable objects on PNF 404, and nothing at all is stopping him from going there on his own, enlisting the Pikmin's help to gather a handful of treasures, and then going home to cash it in and spend some time with his family. And to finish off this point, I'll leave you with one last quote from Olimar. Quote, "Mission log, day 10. I found a point where all the signals from the ship parts seem to converge. If I can recover them all, our ship will be fully restored. The downside is that I'm picking up a worrying number of readings from hostile life forms. I don't think I'll be retrieving those parts without a fight, but what's worth fighting for if not the chance to see one's loved ones again? Hawkatate, here I come." Thanks so much for watching, everyone. Comment down below what you think has Olimar returning to PNF 404 in Pikmin 4. If you enjoyed, consider subscribing as I'm still trying to build my channel, and likes are also greatly appreciated. That's gonna do it for this one, but please stay tuned because Variety Television will be right back.